Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be tackling this big concept of leadership.
Okay.
And we're going to be looking at a blog post by Lunarize
Right.
called Lunarize Inspiring Change with True Leadership.
Okay.
And, so many people chase after these leadership roles for the status, the power,
Yeah.
the perks, all the stuff that comes with it. But
Yeah.
Lunarize seems to think there's something much deeper going on.
Yeah. I think what's so intriguing about Lunarize's approach is that there's this immediate shift in focus.
Okay.
They challenge us to ask, how can I serve?
Right.
Instead of how can I climb the ladder?
Yeah.
And the seemingly small change has massive implications for how we view and practice leadership.
That's a really good point because it really is about moving away from personal gain.
Right.
Stepping into a role where you are really benefiting others.
Exactly.
What's that look like in practice?
Well, it can take many forms, and it really depends on the context. Let's say you're a team leader at a tech company.
Okay.
Leading through service might mean actively seeking out ways to empower your team members.
Right.
Provide them with opportunities to grow their skills, take on new challenges.
Okay.
It could also mean advocating for their well-being,
Mm-hmm.
making sure they have a good work-life balance and they feel supported.
So it's not just about delegating tasks and hitting deadlines.
No, not at all.
It's about investing in their growth
Exactly.
and well-being.
Precisely. Now imagine a leader in a community setting.
Okay.
Service-oriented leadership might involve actively listening to residents' concerns,
Okay.
collaborating with them to address needs, and creating initiatives that benefit the community as a whole.
So it's about understanding the needs of those you serve and then
Right.
taking action
Taking concrete action, exactly.
to address those needs.
Yeah.
Whether it's corporate or community.
Exactly. And Lunarize also dives into the power of vulnerability,
Yes.
which really resonated with me. They even quote Brené Brown,
Oh, wow.
who says vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome.
I love that quote.
Right.
It challenges this traditional view
Yeah.
that a leader is always in control, always confident,
Right.
and never shows weakness.
Right. And that image can actually be a barrier to building trust
Okay.
and connection. Think about it. The leaders who inspire us the most are often those who are willing to admit when they don't have all the answers,
Okay.
or when they've made a mistake, or when they're still learning and growing.
Yeah, that seems counterintuitive, but I think you're right.
It is.
When a leader is open about their struggles, it makes them more relatable,
Absolutely.
more approachable.
More human.
How does that translate into leadership behavior?
Well, here's a specific example you can apply.
Yeah.
The next time you make a mistake,
Mm-hmm.
instead of trying to cover it up or downplay it,
Right.
try openly acknowledging it to your team. Explain what happened, what you learned from it, and how you'll approach things differently in the future.
That is powerful because it builds trust,
It does.
but it also creates a culture of learning from mistakes.
Absolutely. It shows your team it's okay to be human,
Yeah.
to stumble and learn along the way, and that creates a safer, more supportive environment for everyone to grow and thrive.
I like that Lunarize also talks about falling with grace
Yeah.
and rising again with an open heart,
Right.
which I think really highlights resilience in leadership.
This gets to the heart of how great leaders handle setbacks,
Right.
which are inevitable.
Yeah.
We all face challenges and failures along the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about avoiding them altogether,
Right.
but developing the inner strength to bounce back,
Okay.
learn from the experience, and come back even stronger.
So it's less about never failing and more about how you react when you do.
Exactly.
It's about having the grit to keep going.
Exactly. Think about Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
He faced countless defeats and setbacks throughout his political career.
But he never gave up on his vision for a united nation.
Right.
His resilience ultimately led him to become one of the most revered leaders in American history.
It's a great example of how resilience is not just a theoretical concept.
It's not.
It's been embodied by some of history's most influential figures.
Absolutely.
And it's not just for presidents and CEOs.
Right.
This applies to anyone.
Anyone facing challenges big or small.
Yeah.
Cultivating resilience is essential for anyone who wants to navigate life's inevitable ups and downs
Right.
with grace and purpose.
Yeah.
It's about developing that inner strength to face challenges head on, learn from them, and keep moving forward.
Okay, so we've been talking about service vulnerability, resilience as these key elements of true leadership.
Right.
But Lunarize also emphasizes learning from the past, respecting those who came before us.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that so important, especially in a world that's always chasing the next big thing.
Well, it's easy to get caught up in the allure of novelty and disregard tradition.
But true leadership recognizes that we're part of a continuum,
Okay.
and there's a wealth of knowledge to be gained from those who've walked the path before us.
Okay.
Imagine building a house. You need a strong foundation to support any new additions or renovations.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Right. Similarly, strong leadership needs to be grounded in the wisdom of the past, even as it seeks to create positive change for the future.
So how do we find that balance
Yeah.
between honoring tradition and driving innovation?
Well, one powerful approach is to actively seek out mentorship.
Okay.
Having someone who's been there, done that, can offer invaluable guidance and insights.
Yeah, it's like having a guide
Exactly.
through that complex terrain of leadership.
Absolutely. And speaking of guidance, Lunar Eyes also dives into the importance of self-awareness,
Yes.
understanding our strengths, weaknesses, and capacity to lead.
What questions should we be asking ourselves to really uncover our own leadership potential?
That's where the real journey of self-discovery begins.
Okay.
Let's start with this. What are your core values? What principles truly guide your decisions and actions, especially when faced with tough choices?
Because it seems like if you don't know what you stand for,
Right.
it's tough to lead with conviction.
Exactly.
How do we even begin to identify those?
Well, one approach is to reflect on moments in your life when you felt truly fulfilled, aligned with your purpose.
Okay.
What values were at play in those situations?
I'd read
Were
that.
you helping others, pursuing a creative passion, or fighting for a cause you believed in?
Right.
Identifying those driving forces can reveal your core values.
Okay, that makes it much more tangible.
It does.
So once you have a grasp on your values, what's next?
Next comes exploring your strengths.
Okay.
We all have unique talents and abilities.
Mm-hmm.
What comes naturally to you?
Right.
What do you enjoy doing? What energizes you?
Yeah.
These are often clues to where your strengths lie.
It's funny how we often focus on what we're not good at
Right.
instead of celebrating the areas where we excel.
That's a common trap. True leaders know how to leverage their strengths to inspire and motivate others.
Right.
They delegate tasks that drain their energy and focus on areas where they can truly shine.
Okay.
Now, Lunar Eyes doesn't shy away from the flip side weaknesses.
Right.
How can we view our limitations not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth?
Yeah, that's a great question because we tend to see those as like something to hide,
Right.
something to be ashamed of.
Yeah, but think about it.
Yeah.
Acknowledging a weakness isn't about self-criticism. It's about being honest about where you need support.
Okay.
It's about seeking out collaborators who complement your skill set,
Okay.
building a team where everyone's strengths can shine.
So it's about embracing that interdependence,
Precisely.
recognizing that we can achieve more together.
Exactly. Lunar Eyes also brings up knowing your capacity to lead.
Yes.
What did they mean by that?
I think it's about being realistic about our limits,
Yeah.
our energy levels,
Right.
our bandwidth for responsibility.
Right. Not everyone thrives in high-pressure leadership roles.
Okay, some people are energized by taking charge. Others find it draining and stressful.
Right.
There's no right or wrong answer.
Right.
It's about being honest with yourself about what you can handle sustainably.
So if someone's listening and thinking, maybe I'm not CEO material,
Right.
that doesn't mean they lack leadership potential.
Not at all.
Okay.
Leadership manifests in countless ways.
Okay.
Maybe you're a natural mentor, a passionate advocate, or a creative visionary who inspires their team to think differently.
Right.
It's about finding the style that authentically fits you.
This is so important to remember because we often equate leadership with these very specific titles,
Yes, I do.
but it's so much broader than that.
It is.
It's about influence,
Yeah.
making a positive impact regardless of your role.
Exactly. So how do we figure out what kind of impact we're meant to make?
Right.
That's where things get really personal.
Okay.
It requires deep reflection, honest self-assessment,
Mm-hmm.
and a willingness to experiment and learn as you go.
One powerful question to ask yourself is, what are you passionate about?
Okay.
What issues or causes ignite your soul?
Right.
What problems do you feel compelled to solve?
We were talking about the power of passion in leadership.
Yes.
And Lunar Eyes really seems to believe it's a key ingredient for making a real impact.
Absolutely. True leadership is fueled by passion. When you're deeply invested in something, your energy becomes contagious, your enthusiasm inspiring. You're also far more likely to persevere through challenges and setbacks because that passion fuels your determination.
So is passion alone enough?
Well, it's a great starting point,
Right.
but you also need a clear vision,
All
a
right.
sense of what you want to create or achieve.
Right.
Ask yourself, what kind of future do you want to build? What kind of change do you want to see in the world?
Yeah, it's about combining that fire with a sense of direction.
Yes, because without a vision, all that passion could just fizzle out or end up scattered in a million directions. But when you have a compelling vision aligned with your values and strengths, you become a force to be reckoned with.
I like that.
And to further refine your leadership compass, another crucial question is this: what truly motivates you? What drives you to take action and make a difference?
Is it about leaving a positive mark on the world?
It could be.
Or maybe it's more about personal growth and fulfillment.
It could be that as well, or it could be a combination of many things.
Right.
Some people are driven by a strong sense of social responsibility, a desire to create a more just and equitable world. Others are motivated by a thirst for knowledge and a constant desire to learn and grow. Still others find deep fulfillment in helping others reach their full potential.
So there's no single right answer here.
No, not at all.
It's about understanding what lights our fire.
Precisely. And once you understand those motivations, you can start aligning your actions with your deepest desires and values.
Okay, so another question to help fine-tune that compass.
Yes.
How do you handle challenges? What's your natural response to setbacks?
Because nobody enjoys facing obstacles,
True.
but they're pretty much guaranteed on any leadership journey.
Right. It's about how you face them.
Exactly. True leaders are not defined by their ability to avoid challenges, but by how they respond to them.
Okay.
Do you give up easily, or do you view setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth?
Well,
Do you get overwhelmed and discouraged, or do you find ways to adapt and persevere?
that reminds me of that phrase from Lunar Eyes,
Yeah.
falling with grace and rising again with an open heart.
Yes, resilience is an essential quality for any leader. It allows you to navigate those ups and downs of leadership with grace and determination.
So just to reiterate, it's not about being fearless or never making mistakes.
Right.
It's about having the courage to face those challenges head on.
Exactly. Challenges are woven into the fabric of growth and progress.
Right.
It's how we respond to them that shapes our character and capacity for leadership.
There seems to be a theme running through all this.
Yeah.
It all comes back to self-reflection, understanding who we are at our core.
You're spot on. True leadership isn't about following a rigid set of rules or imitating someone else's style. It's about leading authentically. It's about tapping into your own values, strengths, motivations, and aspirations.
If someone's feeling a little overwhelmed by all this introspection,
Right.
where should they begin?
My advice: start small. Carve out some time each day to reflect on these questions. Journal your thoughts and feelings. Talk to trusted friends or mentors. The more you explore these different facets of yourself, the more clarity you'll gain about your own unique path as a leader.
I love that, turning self-discovery into an ongoing practice.
Absolutely. Leadership is a lifelong process of learning, growing, and evolving. The most effective leaders are those who are dedicated to continuously deepening their self-awareness and refining their approach.
Well, this has been a really eye-opening deep dive. We've unpacked so much about what it means to lead with authenticity and purpose.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you. And as Lunar Eyes reminds us, it all starts with a simple shift in perspective, moving from how can I be recognized to how can I serve?
Such a powerful reminder really encapsulates the heart of true leadership. And with that, we leave you with one final question to ponder. If true leadership is about serving others, what cause or community are you inspired to lead in?